enshrined in our Constitution were met by violence of police bullets and a state-sponsored militia. Specific members of our teams, namely Senator Methu, Honorable Victor Munyaka, and Jamnik Kamau, were targeted for assassination. The evidence is clear in the bullet holes aimed at specific windscreens of their vehicles. We thank God for their protection. Otherwise, we would today be eulogizing them. Their only crime having been exercising their freedom of association and expression. We will not tire from reminding the Ruto administration that freedom of movement, expression, and association are among the fundamental rights guaranteed in our Constitution and in the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, as well as on the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. On Tuesday this week, after the Halloween attack, the United Opposition presented irrefutable evidence to the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA, on this criminal assault and attempted assassination of our leaders. We expect IPOA to treat this evidence with a grave concern that it deserves. Any attempt to unlawfully take the life of a human being, regardless of ethnicity, gender, or rank, ought to be condemned in the strongest terms possible. We therefore expect IPOA to hold the commanding officer who led this assault accountable. The Inspector General of Police, Douglas Kanja, and Interior Cabinet Secretary, Kipchumba Murkomen, must be held accountable. The buck stops with them. We can no longer allow the brazen criminal acts and subversion of the rule of law to continue because of orders from above. We are saying enough is enough. We have heard Ruto saying enough is enough, but we remind him as an employee, you can never tell your employer enough is enough. You can only pack your bags and go. We are his employers. We are telling him enough is enough. This has to stop. He cannot create a Haiti-like militia in Kenya to destroy the peace and tranquility that we have been having. Fellow Kenyans, our country is ailing. Some even say it is at war with itself, not because of the global recession or pandemic, but because of an epidemic called William Samoei Ruto. The instruments of power are in the hands of a person who simply doesn't care for the well-being of the citizens he purports to govern. For instance, we are aware of a cargo of 25,000 metric tons of sugar that recently landed in our port at Mombasa. This sugar is already on its way to Western Kenya, to a Western Kenya sugar factory to be repackaged and sold to Kenyans. Yet, it was condemned as unfit for human consumption in its country of origin. That it has been cleared quickly and is now headed to be distributed in this country shows the heartlessness of this regime. They have made money their god. We demand that these consignments already earmarked as publicly condemned be earmarked as publicly condemned and destroyed immediately so that it is not used to poison Kenyans. I will let one of our youth read the rest.
Thank you so much. My name is Ken Babu, and I proceed. Fellow Kenyans, this is a criminal regime that not only resorts to willful violence against its people, but resorts to physically harming its populace and fit for public consumption of goods, but also attempts to limit its people via willful and defunding education, which is a right. Just a week ago, the Cabinet Secretary for Finance, John Mbadi, publicly declared that Kenya can no longer sustain free primary and secondary education. The proposed cuts to capitation and demand that Kenyan parents pay more for the education is an affront to Constitution, having been entrenched in Article 43(1)(f), which guarantees the right to education for everyone, while Article 53(1)(b) specifically ensures every child's right for free and compulsory basic education. Hence, defunding education is not only insensitive, but unconstitutional. We implore us to reason to these words of Abraham Lincoln, and I quote, "Do not interfere with anything in the Constitution. That must be maintained, for it is the only safeguard of our liberties." We must tell the illegitimate regime of Mr. Ruto that Kenyans want education, health, and other basic needs, and not handouts in the name of empowerment. And therefore, we all agree that having Mr. Ruto as the Kenya's president today is one of the most historical mistakes that ever happened in this country. And therefore, one term is unstoppable. One term.
One time. Yeah. It will be finished by Steve. Honorable.
A lady. Some a lady.
No.
So let's have a lady.
It's gone. Ndio ya mwisho.
We can have a lady.
Okay.
Under Ruto's torrid regime, our beloved country has in under 3 years, we have been subjected to socio-economic and emotional assault as the people of Kenya, which is illegal, unconstitutional, and criminal in every form. This is not speculation. We repeat, this is a fact. Their first and only qualifying modus operandi is theft, destruction, and death as the Ruto state-governed policy. 2, they are now scrutinizing future taxes, a criminal and yes, unconstitutional move to borrow externally against future taxes without parliamentary sanction or debate. It is not only a seminally crude betrayal of public trust, but also a direct violation of the Public Finance Act. The behind closed doors is a reckless scheme to sell off Kenya's future. To conceal their criminal operations, they have created murky financial vehicles called special purpose vehicles. These are run by faceless technocrats and unaccountable corporations. The primary objectives of this vehicle is to divert public resources away from Parliament, the Auditor General, and the people. This is more than simply daylight robbery. It is shameless thievery, the likes of which no nation on planet Earth has ever seen or should witness. We call for the following with immediate urgency. Number 1, Parliament must reclaim its authority and halt the illegal securitization of public taxes. 2, an independent audit into all SPVs being used to handle public resources. 3, the government must restore full capitation to schools and publish a clear time-bound commitment to fund free education as enshrined in the law. 4, Kenyans must mobilize, organize, and resist through civic engagement, legal action, and national solidarity.
Yeah, it was resolved that one of us should do the conclusion, but of course we'll be taking the necessary questions. This is very brief. Friends of goodwill, as the united opposition, we will not be silent as our country is auctioned. We will not bow down to intimidation. We will not allow the proliferation of fake news and propaganda to define our time. We will not allow a nation built on liberation to be destroyed by deception. Mr. Ruto, together with your team, you're on borrowed time. Hashtag one term is not just a reality, it is an eventuality. May God bless our Republic, Kenya. Thank you.
One term.
One term.
One term.
You can take the questions.
Yeah, one term. We can take the question. If there's any, or you can actually observe inclusive nature of presentation. We will not leave the youth behind, and we will not leave the women behind. Nobody will be left behind. We do not claim monopoly of presentation going forward. Any question? Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. My name is Sokawele, I work for TV. What intersection of the members of opposition being accused of propagating the business policy for Tia and Abu, where Nina for what can this opposition alliance explain that part of the principles have been supported that accused of meeting segmented groupings that are being
You know, there's such a thing, my friend, of as freedom of association. As we move forward, I think leaders should feel free to meet and consult any segment of the Kenyan community without being branded divisive. Absolutely no. We are not a divisive thing, and I think our sister was on one such trip in the States. If that's what you're referring to, I think Mother should handle that.
We have already said in our statement, a desperate regime resorts to propaganda and misinformation. There is no place on earth I know where you call a meeting and only certain people come. When it's a public meeting, everybody comes. I went to Angemi Festival, Kikuyu music, but music speaks to everyone. There were people from mixed backgrounds. Everybody was there. So we will not waste our time answering to propaganda. Show us the evidence, we shall react.
Thank you. So if the event was a game event, why would you want to categorize it? Yes, sir. Daily Nation. Some of us are very clear. We have stood, I can tell you on very authoritatively, when I chaired the first ministerial commission to revitalize East African community. And it went on now to build on the mistake we made in 1977 when we killed East African community. Now we are fully back on East African community situation. So some of us stand for borderless East Africa and the rights of establishment. The parliament sitting in Arusha should be able to quickly deliberate on some of these things. So if you look at it that way, does it matter which side of the lake is Megigo Island? Doesn't really matter, because we want to see a borderless East Africa where professionals can have rights of establishment in Kampala, in Dar es Salaam, in Kigali, in Juba, in Nairobi. That is the vision. So this other one is, in my view, permit me to say, a bit narrow-minded.
May I also add and say this? It is very well for Uganda and Kenya to agree on Migingo. Any agreement that cedes of the territory of Kenya needs to be debated in Kenya. It needs to be by our parliament. So Kenya and Uganda does not belong to our two heads, to Dr. Ruto and Yoweri Museveni. It belongs to the people of Kenya and Uganda and to East Africa. They cannot make private deals that go against the territorial boundaries. While we commend the effort to resolve, can they retrace their steps and do it legally? We also want to remind them, we have not forgotten. We are still focused on the criminal acts by both states of cross-border abduction. We have not forgotten that Besigye was abducted from Kenya. Luckily, he has now filed a suit in Kenya against the Kenya government. And a suit will be filed also extending to Ugandan government for the criminality. We have not forgotten the cross-border abduction of Mwambili Mwagondi from Tanzania. It looks like the three original states of East Africa are collaborating on oppressing their citizens. We want to hear their voices telling us whether this is going to stop. And we also want to ask East Africans, let us stand together in solidarity to push back these illegalities.
Thank you.
Still on the same issue of diplomacy, what's your take about the Tanzanian move? They are proposing to ban all foreigners, including Kenya, from trading with small business.
I think that's what I was dealing with. When I said the right to establishment, free movement of goods and services. And of course that includes, you cannot think of free movement of goods and services without talk about businessmen and women. So we would want East Africans to enjoy being East Africa. Because after all, we sing our national, our East African anthem. Does it make sense that when it comes to doing business in Tanzania or in Uganda or in Kigali or in Bujumbura, then you have to be restricted? No. The longer term vision of integration incorporates a situation where business people are able to move freely across the borders. I hope I've answered. Any other question?
In other words, the actions of Tanzania undermine the East African treaty, and the integration.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just the last one. Yesterday we heard the Corporate Secretary General say the ban by Tanzania was a reaction to what happened in May. Some of Kenyan activists, including new PSP leaders, went there to might have frustrated the administration there. This ban now comes.
Frustrated the administration.
Is that
They were going in there, I think, as professionals. And Senator Medho has come here. We thank God you are alive, my friend. We are supposed to take you out. It will never happen in God's name.
Yeah.
So, again, I mean, honestly, some of these things, I talked about the right of establishment. It's a serious matter. If you look at the treaty establishing the East African community, it's very clear when it comes again to freedom of movement of the professionals. So if we have a Kenyan attorney, a Kenyan advocate, or senior counsel like Mother, going to represent a client in Dar es Salaam,
or observe.
In any event, you can also remember that Chief Justice Emeritus was himself allowed to do the same. This is the spirit of East Africanness we are advocating, and we believe we will work very cheap.
May I also let you know?
The chair of the community, the authority itself, is William Ruto.
Why is it happening during this time?
Yeah, but just to mention that I had actually successfully observed Tundu Lissu's case on the 24th of April. But I issued a statement about observing. I think that was what rubbed them the wrong way. But their constitution, just like Kenyans, and the Treaty of East Africa allows freedom of expression. So the actions of the leadership in Tanzania is illegal by their own constitution and by international law. We have challenged the actions of the Tanzanian government in the Tanzanian court, and I hope soon the court will be issuing an order for them to open the door for me and others to walk in the streets of Tanzania to defend our suit. So, aluta continua. Let's not go on it too much, please, sir. Yeah, it will become just a debate on East Africa. Our
And yet our
presser
mind
today,
is on capitation.
capitation
We will not
and
derail
attempted
the right to
assassination.
education.
If it's not a different matter.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
last one.
Maybe our friend will talk to that. How many years?
It's 2
My
years.
friend, next week will
can
be
check that.
2 years.
Yes.
Not for today now. They are going to watch the space.
Thank you. I think we want to say the issue of our coalition and the unity of our coalition, and as to when and how we unveil our joint presidential candidate or lineup is our prerogative. We will do so as and when
A week ago, members of the United Opposition, whilst on a Meet the People tour, a right that is enshrined in our Constitution, were met by violence of police bullets and a state-sponsored militia. Specific members of our teams, namely Senator Methu, Honorable Victor Munyaka, and Jamnik Kamau, were targeted for assassination. The evidence is clear in the bullet holes aimed at specific windscreens of their vehicles. We thank God for their protection. Otherwise, we would today be eulogizing them. their only crime having been exercising their freedom of association and expression. We will not tire from reminding the Ruto administration that freedom of movement, expression, and association are among the fundamental rights guaranteed in our Constitution and in the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, as well as on the International Covenant on Civil condemned in the strongest terms possible. We therefore expect IPOA to hold the commanding officer who led this assault accountable. The Inspector General of Police, Douglas Kanja, and Interior Cabinet Secretary, Kipchumba Murkomen, must be held accountable. The buck stops with them. We can no longer allow the brazen criminal acts and subversion of the rule of law to continue because of orders from above. We are saying enough is enough. We have heard Ruto saying enough is enough, but we remind him as an employee, you can never tell your employer enough is enough. You can only pack your bags and go. We are his employers. We are telling him enough is enough. This has to stop. He cannot create a Haiti-like militia in Kenya to destroy the peace and tranquility that we have been having. Fellow Kenyans, our country is ailing. Some even say it is at war with itself, not because of the global recession or pandemic, but because of an epidemic called William Samoei Ruto. The instruments of power are in the hands of a person who simply doesn't care for the well-being of the citizens he purports to govern. For instance, we are aware of a cargo of 25,000 metric tons of sugar that recently landed in our port at Mombasa. This sugar is already on its way to Western Kenya, to a Western Kenya sugar factory to be repackaged and sold to Kenyans. Yet, it was condemned as unfit for human consumption in its country of origin. That it has been cleared quickly and is now headed to be distributed in this country shows the heartlessness of this regime. They have made money their god. We demand that these consignments already earmarked as publicly condemned be earmarked as publicly condemned and destroyed immediately so that it is not used to poison Kenyans. I will let one of our youth read the rest.
Thank you. Thank you so much. My name is Ken Babu, and I proceed. Fellow Kenyans, this is a criminal regime that not only resorts to willful violence against its people, but resorts to physically harming its populace unfit for public consumption of goods, but also attempts to limit its people via willful and defunding education, which is a right. Just a week ago, the Cabinet Secretary for Finance, John Mbadi, publicly declared that Kenya can no longer sustain free primary and secondary education. They proposed cuts to capitation and demand that Kenyan parents pay more for the education is an affront to Constitution, having been entrenched in Article 43(1)(f), which guarantees the right to education for everyone, while Article 53(1)(b) specifically ensures every child's right for free and compulsory basic education. Hence, defunding education is not only insensitive but unconstitutional. We implore us to reason to these words of Abraham Lincoln, and I quote, "Do not interfere with anything in the Constitution. That must be maintained, for it is the only safeguard of our liberties." We must tell the illegitimate regime of Mr. Ruto that Kenyans want education, health, and other basic needs, and not handouts in the name of empowerment. And therefore, we all agree that having Mr. Ruto as the Kenya's president today is one of the most historical mistakes that ever happened in this country. And therefore, one term is unstoppable. One term.
One term. Yeah. It will be finished by Steve. Honorable.
A lady. Let's have a lady.
No.
So let's have a lady.
It's gone. Ndio ya mwisho.
We can have a lady.
Okay.
Under Ruto's torrid regime, our beloved country has in under 3 years, we have been subjected to socio-economic and emotional assault as the people of Kenya, which is illegal, unconstitutional, and criminal in every form. This is not speculation. We repeat, this is a fact. Their first and only qualifying modus operandi is theft, destruction, and death as the Ruto state-governed policy. 2, they are now scrutinizing future taxes, a criminal and yes, unconstitutional move to borrow externally against future taxes without parliamentary sanction or debate. It is not only a similarly crude betrayal of public trust, but also a direct violation of the Public Finance Act. The behind closed doors is a reckless scheme to sell off Kenya's future. To conceal their criminal operations, they have created murky financial vehicles called special purpose vehicles. These are run by faceless technocrats and unaccountable corporations. The primary objectives of this vehicle is to divert public resources away from Parliament, the Auditor General, and the people. This is more than simply daylight robbery. It is shameless thievery, the likes of which no nation on planet Earth has ever seen or should witness. We call for the following with immediate urgency. Number 1, Parliament must reclaim its authority and halt the illegal securitization of public taxes. 2, an independent audit into all SPVs being used to handle public resources. 3, the government must restore full capitation to schools and publish a clear time-bound commitment to fund free education as enshrined in the law. 4, Kenyans must mobilize, organize, and resist through civic engagement, legal action, and national solidarity.
Yeah, it was resolved that one of us should do the conclusion, but of course we'll be taking the necessary questions. This is very brief. Friends of goodwill, as the united opposition, we will not be silent as our country is auctioned. We will not bow down to intimidation. We will not allow the proliferation of fake news and propaganda to define our time. We will not allow a nation built on liberation to be destroyed by deception. Mr. Ruto. together with your team, you're on borrowed time. Hashtag one term is not just a reality, it is an eventuality. May God bless our Republic, Kenya. Thank you.
One term.
One term.
One term.
You can take the questions.
Yeah, one term. We can take the question. If there's any, or you can actually observe inclusive nature of presentation. We will not leave the youth behind, and we will not leave the women behind. Nobody will be left behind. We do not claim monopoly of presentation going forward. Any question? Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. My name is Sokawele, I work for Citizen TV. What intersection of the members of the opposition being accused of propagating the divisive policy for Tia and Peru, where Nina for
Yes, Owen Bayer, you take responsibility and inform him to bring a response in 2 weeks.
Much obliged, Honorable Speaker.
Mary Maingi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me this opportunity. I want to speak to two issues regarding the farmers of Moya constituency, the rice farmers. On the 20th of February this year, I requested for a statement from the Departmental Committee on Trade on the importation of rice into this country. Mr. Speaker, rice is the third consumed cereal in this country.
Mary Maingi, I gave you an opportunity to remind the House that you requested for a statement and it has not been responded to. I did not give you a latitude to open debate on the same statement that you requested.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am guided, but with your indulgence, I would like the CS for Trade and the CS for Treasury to come and explain to this House what he plans to do with the farmers or with the rice in Moya constituency, since I learned about import into this country of rice yesterday through a Gazette notice. What does he plan to do with the rice in Moya constituency? Mr. Speaker, also allow me to speak to the issue of fertilizer. And I urge you to indulge the CS of Agriculture to come and explain to this House why the Moya rice farmers should not enjoy subsidized fertilizer like other farmers. we have written to the permanent secretary, to the principal secretary, agriculture, on subsidized fertilizer through Moya Rice Growers, MRGM, and he doesn't seem to think it is urgent for us to enjoy the subsidized fertilizer. Mr. Speaker, I seek your guidance.
Thank you. On the fertilizer one, you remember you shared with me, and I've forwarded your concerns to the Minister of Agriculture. But Mutunga, I can see you here. Can you check out on why farmers of rice buddies in Mwea are not accessing subsidized fertilizer, when the policy is that each and every farmer, whether it's coffee, tea, rice, potato, maize, whichever crop, must be equally treated to access subsidized fertilizer?
I'll do that, Honorable Speaker, but the strategy is to have everyone receive subsidized fertilizer, whether it is tea, coffee, rice, or the crops. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. And on the rice one, the chair of trade, she's spoken for you. Yes. Well, she represents Mwea. Does Nyand also not, you get fertilizer? Okay, Mutunga. Chairman Mutunga, limit your phone contact in the chamber. Expand your fertilizer check to Muhoroni as well. It's called Nyando Rice Scheme.
And on the
Next, responses to statements. Administration and Internal Security. Tongoyo, is he here? Yes, respond to a request by Kemei. Before you do, let me acknowledge additional schools in the public gallery. Boretti Junior School from Belgut Kericho. Ndonyo Kiasin School from Samburu, East Samburu. Katandatu School from Imendi, South Meru. Sirwa Comprehensive School from Mogotio, Baringo. Mumiasi Central Primary School from Mumiasi West, Kakamega. And Uslisima Primary School from South Imenti, Meru. Next, Honorable Member for Mumias East, West, I know you asked me to give you an opportunity to welcome your school. It probably has already left. So on my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome the schools, the students, the teachers, and those accompanying them to Parliament. Tongoyo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And
you have Are you ready with all of them?
Yes, I am.
Start with
I need your indulgence, Honorable Speaker. As much as I'm ready with the response from the Honorable Beatrice Kemei, she's in the House.
If she's not in the House,
so maybe table it or...
Table it, she will read it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think she left, so maybe you'll allow me to table it.
To be fair to her, in case she has supplementaries,
okay.
We stay to next Tuesday afternoon.
Okay, thank you.
Chiforomondo Mangale, a response to your request?
Yeah, so Honorable Speaker, also with me have a response on a statement being sought by the Member of Parliament for Lungalunga constituency, Honorable Chiforomondo Mangale. Okay, and the member sought to the Member of Parliament as requested to be informed the current progress of construction of the Lungalunga sub-county headquarters and the measures, if any, being implemented to expedite its completion in order to provide proper office space for the Deputy County Commissioner and other or departments, and I respond as follows, Honorable Speaker. The process of construction of the Lunga Sub-County headquarters commenced on the 2019 in the drawings and the bill of quantities. However, the construction has not commenced due to limitation of funds. The land for construction of the headquarters is available with a parcel number Kwale Mahuruni 1856, measuring approximately 2.80 hectares. And Honorable Speaker, in regard to the second question on the issue of measures being put in place to expedite the process, the ministry is in process of engaging the National Treasury for the funding of the project, which is estimated to cost about 53,497,506,000. I submit, Honorable Speaker, signed by Honorable C.S. Kipchumba Murkomen. I submit, Honorable Speaker.
Foromondo, are you satisfied? We go to the next.
Mr. Speaker, the response is not satisfactory. Because then, Mr. Speaker, 13 years is such a long time to be told that the ministry is trying to get some funds so that they can actualize the project. Mr. Speaker, I wish the chair would liaise with the Honorable Minister so that at least this is a beginning of the financial year. We get some funds to realize or to actualize the project, because then the DCC has no place to work on. They operate on a makeshift office which has been abandoned by the KRA. And again, this has been the trend. When you look at the Mwachanda Bridge, it has stayed since the time when we had rain seasons of El Nino and many other projects in Lunga sub-county. So please, sir, Mr. Speaker, I would request that Mr. Chairman liaise with the Honorable Minister so that we get some funds. 53 million is very little money for that matter. This is a big government with 4-point-something trillion budget. Please, sir, I'm requesting that something be done so that this thing is addressed. 13 years is such a long time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Tongoyo, can you first track for him?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As much as I really understand the frustration of the Member of Parliament, Honorable Speaker, we all know the problem. I've been lamenting in this House on the issue of funding the project within the ministry. In this financial year, Honorable Speaker, we have got hardly 500 million. And of course, we know the majority of the gazetted units in this country. But having said this, Honorable Speaker, I'm going also to take up to see whether we can get something. But at the same time, Honorable Speaker, I want to challenge the Member of Parliament. We have also our NGCDF, which in a bigger extent can also help even the ministry in doing something in the said sub-county. Majority of members of Parliament in this House have really contributed immensely in the issue of NGCDF, in the issue to support sub-counties, including the Member of Parliament, Bowen. He has done a very good job, and majority of members of Parliament here. So I call upon my colleague here, maybe as we wait the ministry to probably get some fund, you can also do something in your own kitty of NGCDF.
Thank you. Respond now to a request by Yakub Ado. Hold there. Yes, Rachel Nyamai. There's another joyrider here.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for allowing me to also joyride on this. I would like to inform the Chair, Honorable Speaker, that we have assistant chiefs who were hired 1 year ago, specifically April 2024. And you know, now we are past April 2025. Initially, I had informed them that I do not want to raise the matter because I thought it can be handled administratively. But I would like to request the chair that this is a matter that needs his consideration. As we await for implementation of the ones that have already been gazetted, but now those who are already hired and they have not been paid. It's a big concern, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much for allowing me.
Thank you, Tongo. Take care of that. And yes, Owen, you want to joyride on that as well?
Yes. Honorable Speaker, I think this is a problem that needs to be looked at because I have chiefs in Kilifi County, that assistant chiefs and chiefs that were hired a year ago, Honorable Speaker. and Honorable Tongo, they have not been paid. And you can imagine a chief waking up every day serving the people, and there has not been payment. When I asked, I was told there's a problem with the Public Service Commission, who say that they should be hiring chiefs and not the local administration hiring chiefs. And because of that problem, Honorable Speaker, the chiefs are suffering. And this is something that can be resolved within the shortest period. But I think there is a problem within the Interior Ministry. Honorable Speaker, this is a matter that must be sorted out. Otherwise, they keep on piling it, and it will become another huge pending bill going forward. But it's something that can be sorted.
Tongo, you note that and address it. Those are comments, they don't require a response.
But Honorable Speaker, maybe just to put a word across, because it's not the first time that it's coming up, and the problem actually lies with the Public Service Commission, and they've got this issue of generating the service numbers. So at times it takes quite unnecessarily long, but as you guided, it's an issue that we are going to follow up and have it addressed.
Can you now respond to a request by Yakub Ado? Is Yakub here?
Yes, Speaker.
Yes. Member.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Once again, response on the statement being sought by Honorable Yakub Ador, the Member of Parliament for Bura constituency, in regards to the disappearance of Aden Nur Hassan. And I want to respond as follows. On the 14th May 2025, at about 10:20 hours, Mr. Maudili Lead Aden Hassan reported at Bangale Police Station, VIDE OB number 8, 14/5/2025, that his cousin Aden Nur Hassan, a resident of Bulta Banda village, had been abducted within Badangale Township. Such efforts commenced immediately, and the vehicle number plate circulated at all roadblocks. Preliminarily, finding revealed that the victim was abducted on the 13th May at about 13 hours by two men using a black BMW vehicle with a registration number KCS 147Z. It was further established that the victim's mobile phone was switched off immediately after his abduction in Bangale town. Prior to the incident, the victim had been in communication with the individual whose phone number was traced to Mbalambale and has since been switched off. The DCI Crime Search and Intelligence Bureau is currently reviewing the call records of the victim with a view of identifying any suspicious phone number that the victim may have been in contact with. Additionally, a formal request was sent to the National Transport and Safety Authority to obtain the ownership detail of the suspected vehicle. A response was received providing a duplicate logbook of the vehicle, with confirmed that the vehicle, a black BMW registration number KCS 147Z, is registered under Mr. Mustafa Adan Ibrahim. The investigation team is therefore tracking Mustafa, who was considered a key suspect in the matter and was later located between Mandera and Wajir County. Investigations are still ongoing, with effort intensified to apprehend the suspects and arraign them in court of law for the appropriation charges. And on the second question, Speaker, the police have intensified the investigation to ensure that the said person is expeditiously traced and reunited with the family, and to apprehend and arraign in court those who will be found responsible for the disappearance of the said person. Submit, Honorable Speaker. I think the rest are just standard response.
Jacob.
Thank you, Speaker. There's a response in this, for the following reasons. I am in contact with the family, and specifically the person who has reported the matter. Without cutting or casting aspersions on the investigation process, the family has not reported that specific registration number, and the source of that information is not known to us. And the second issue is about the named individual called Faisal. I think with a little more seriousness on the issue, the details of that individual will have been traced, and that matter was close to 4 or 5 months ago. The family, and as their representative, I believe that that information has not or is not satisfactory. Secondly, Speaker, is about that Bengal station. My constituency is about 13,000 square kilometers, and specifically, I have raised an issue about lack of patrols by police in the area, because that was not an isolated matter. It is a case that has repeatedly been reported. And up to today, part of the response from the chair is that Bengal police station still has not been allocated any police vehicle, and the closest police vehicle is about 180 kilometers away for any response. God forbid, if anything happens today, there is no response that could be expected from the police around there. So my request to the chair is that, through the speaker, is that next time when that listing process of the vehicles for security purposes is availed, stations such as Bengal and far-flung areas where the constituency is very vast should be considered and given a priority going forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Tongo,
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
you've heard the concerns
Yeah,
of
I
them.
did.
So look at them and appraise him on what else you are doing.
Well guided.
Beatrice Kemei has come here. She says she had stepped out to respond to a biological emergency. And she's requested that we reinstate her statement. So go ahead and respond.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Kamket, what is it?
Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to joyride on that statement. Before the chairman responds, I wanted to add something little. Mr. Speaker, one of the most shameful...
On which statement?
On the statement by the member for Bora.
We have already gone past that.
No,
we
no,
are
not
now
yet.
with
He has not
Beatrice
responded. He hasn't responded. I wanted to just add something.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I was saying, Mr. Speaker, that one of the most shameful acts for a member of parliament is to come and to pretend to give a response on behalf of the police to this house. Mr. Speaker, I think we have to find a way to avoid a member of parliament, whether he's chairman for security or whatever committee, to give a response on behalf of the police. Because we know, Mr. Speaker, there is so much that this member does not know. And when we are talking about security matters, we are talking about, most of the time, we are talking about loss of life. I have a case in mind, Mr. Speaker, of my constituency, where somebody was picked from Ginyang Market by police and has never been seen up to date. We've chosen not to ask because there is little you can get from the police. So when I hear the chairman here trying to give a response on behalf of the police, I feel for him. Because I believe that even what he's reading, he does not believe in it. He doesn't even have the facts.
You are not a spokesman, are you?
No, but Mr. Speaker, it is obvious that he doesn't even know what he's talking about. It is obvious, Mr. Speaker. I think, Mr. Speaker...
Be fair to your colleague. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I don't want to be unfair to him, but I'm trying to paint a problem, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable...
that is very real in the country.
Member for Tiati.
Yes, sir.
We have given you an opportunity as member. Take your seat. You elect to file a question to the committee. The chairman of the committee or the chairperson of the committee will bring you an answer, however competent or incompetent. We have also given you an election to file questions for ministers to come and answer here, for you to grill them. The Minister for Security will be here next Wednesday. So it's entirely up to you and those who think like you to choose where to file your questions. Yes, Kamket.
Mr. Speaker, I want to add that even the Minister for Security is a civilian. Sometimes the statements he brings to this house, he is given stories that stories are jabber.
Order, Honorable Kamket.
I'm telling you, Mr. Speaker, this is the reality.
Are you telling the House that you want the IG and other policemen to come here and answer questions? Under what standing order? Speaker's Gallery, Mumias Central Primary School from Mumias West, Kakamega. In the public gallery, we have Glorious Academy from Thika Town, Kiambu. Kapkwang School from Baringo, North Baringo. Kilel Stars Academy from Konoin, Bomet. Hoflo Junior Academy from Ainabkoi, Pasingishu, and Chepseon Complex from Kipkelion East, Kericho. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. Thank you. Tongoyo, go ahead and respond to Beatrice Kemei.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. But Honorable Speaker, I don't want to belabor on what you have already ruled on. But Honorable Speaker, just allow me to respectfully also weigh on what my brother had said. Our current standing orders are very clear on who responds to statement, to questions on behalf of members. But again, it's not limited to even the IG and the police officers appearing before the committees. And by then we can have a session of interrogating issues that we need more deeper interrogation. So maybe, Honorable Speaker, the member may still have an opportunity, maybe through committee sessions. Honorable Speaker, on the issue of Honorable Kemei regarding the issue of GBV, the issue of gender-based violence, but maybe before, Honorable Speaker, just allow me, the Member of Parliament for Bura, you see, have just come to sit next to me, is still having some issue on the response. And you remember we still have an unfinished business with the CS on appearance before the committee on several unresponded statements. And we'll probably consider having him appear if we get that opportunity.
May?
Yes.
Then continue whispering to each other.
Yeah. So when he appears, you can still come before the committee. So on Kemei, regarding investigation into the escalating cases of gender-based violence in Kericho County. And I want to respond as well as Honorable Speaker, because I think she wanted the status of investigation into the reported femicide and GBV case in Kericho County, particularly the attack on Miss Mercy Chelagat and Miss Miriam Chelimo. And the report on the number of reported femicide cases between July, August, and April 2025. Honorable Speaker, Nicholas Koech reported at Jirimoni Police Station, VIDOB number 0621 of 2025 on the 20th April at around 9 hours, a reconciliation team from Lesirwa Kipkelion village with intention Damaris and her husband, Mr. David Kimtai. The two had a domestic dispute which had prompted Damaris to flee from a matrimonial home to her parents' home, David, who is the accused, and was accompanied by his kinsmen, Mr. Wilson Cheblagat and Pastor Samuel Mutai, while Nicholas was accompanied by his brother, Thomas Kibet Koech, and his son, Gilbert Cheboy. After the deliberation at around 15 hours, Damaris was invited to give her submission, and she declined to accompany her husband back to their matrimonial home. And Range David pulled out a knife from his jacket and stabbed her severely on the stomach. The accused also stabbed Gilbert on his abdomen after he attempted to restrain him. Their father, Nicholas, also sustained minor injuries, and neighbors who responded to the distress call subjected David to a mob injustice. All the injured persons, including the accused, were rushed to Kericho Referral Hospital. The accused was treated and discharged, while Damaris and her brother Gilbert were admitted and were later discharged. The investigating officers visited there and processed the scene, recovered a knife which was kept as an exhibit, and further recorded statement, while P3 forms were duly completed. And the accused was arrested on the 26th April and arraigned before Tamu Law Courts on grievous harm contrary to Section 234 of the Penal Code. He pleaded not guilty on both counts. The court released him on a bond of Kenya shilling 200,000 or a cash bail of 50,000. The case was fixed for routine mention and hearing on the 26th May this year and June 23rd, this year. The accused appeared before Tamu Law Court for a routine mention on the 26th of May. However, both complainant requested the presiding magistrate for the withdrawal of the case, having reconciled with the accused. The accused was subsequently acquitted and the case withdrawn under Section 204 of the Criminal Procedure Code on both accounts. Honorable Speaker, Bavin Serem, a nominated MCA, reported at the Grimoni police station via a mobile phone that Mr. Meshak Odida Juma assaulted his wife, Ms. Miriam Chelimo, on the night of the 2nd April this year at a Gate Point bar within Chirimo Trading Center, following a domestic dispute on the 3rd April. The suspect took the victim to Jaramogi Oginga Referral Hospital for treatment. Unfortunately, she succumbed to the injuries on the following day. Subsequently, police officers from the Kipkelion police station arrested Meshak Odida and booked him via OB 12-14-0425. Upon interrogation, he admitted that he had not reported the incident to the police, stating the funeral arrangements were already underway for a burial schedule on the 16th April, and our parents' home in Chesgot, Kunyak, within the Kipkelion sub-county. The suspect was presented before Kericho Law Court on the 15th April for custodial orders and was later arraigned for plea taking on the 23rd. Honorable Speaker, on the report of the number of reported femicide and GBV cases between the month of July and April this year, are stated as follows. On the number of the femicide, there were not before court. The rape cases pending before the court. Gang rape cases were 3, all pending before the court. Sexual assaults are 2, all pending before the court. Defilement were 77. All cases, this is very alarming, cases are pending before the court. Defilement are 2, accused convicted. Grievous harm are 3, all pending before the court. Honorable Speaker, all reported cases of femicide and gender-based violence in Kericho County has been thoroughly investigated, with several cases currently pending before the competent court of law, while others have already been concluded. The government remains fully committed to upholding the rule of law and ensuring the timely, impartial prosecution of all reported cases. Effort continues to be directed toward eliminating procedural delays, protecting the right of survivors, and holding perpetrators accountable through a victim-centered, right-based approach. And limited arrest, Honorable Speaker, prosecution in Kericho cases is substituted to the low level of community sensitization, which has resulted in the victim being prosecuted by members, pressurized by the members of the public to resolve cases privately with their perpetrators. The limited cooperation from the members of the public in assisting the police to trace, apprehend suspect, many of whom go into hiding after committing the crime. Survivors of the GBV often face societal stigma and are blamed for their victimization, which deter the victims and the families from reporting the victims. I submit, Honorable Speaker, signed by the CS Interior, Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Beatrice Kamei.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and especially the fact that you considered my request, having stepped out to make sure that I'm comfortable to listen to the chairman. Yes. And Honorable Speaker, he has actually brought this and result or from the CS. But Honorable Speaker, it is actually unfortunate that cases are alarming and rising.
They're definitely alarming for a small count like Kericho.
Yes. Now, Honorable Speaker, I expected, even having come up with reasons why this slow rate of prosecution and arrest, I expected to get the possible solutions from the CS. Having said this, I want to thank you, Honorable Speaker, that this campaign by the women leaders against SGPV has actually yielded some small result. But I want to please to support us. If we don't get support from our male counterparts, we will not go far. So, Honorable Speaker, I wish you can say something out of that whenever we are in any function, because SGPV is not for women only. It affects everybody else, but the most affected are women, Honorable Speaker. So for these cases of Kericho, they are alarming and rising every day. And Honorable Speaker, I also want to add that court cases take very long, and that is why, and some of them decide to withdraw and even to reconcile, and some are forced for reconciliation. So, Honorable Speaker, I ask that all the stakeholders come together to make sure that these cases go down. And it is not only in Kericho, across the country. And you'll realize that social and economic factors are affected, or economic factors and political are affected by these social cases. So, Honorable Speaker, I ask that we go further than that. So for Chair, please get more results. How can we get possible solutions for this? It is not satisfactory, Honorable Speaker, and especially this lady who died, and then the husband did not even report, saying that I'm only planning for the funeral. So I am not happy, and every day they are asking, what do legislators say about these cases? So it is from here that we can speak for our people, and especially the poor. They have nothing to do. And Honorable Speaker, yesterday, while and Madam Speaker was holding brief for you, the case of the village elder was actually, the statement was answered. But Honorable Speaker, the issue that we have is that even families are not informed of where the case has reached. So I believe that the chair should go more further for that case. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Mshomba, you want to joyride on that? Go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to take the cue from my sister, Honorable Women, County Woman MP for Kericho County. Honorable Speaker, this morning I attended a conference for all the CSOs and human rights organizations that are based in Nairobi, a network for human rights organization. And Kericho County was actually flagged in the report that was exposed in that forum. There was a baseline research that was done, and Kericho County is alarmingly showing us very negative numbers. So even as the honorable member says that she's not satisfied with the response, I support her. Honorable Speaker, it's barely 2 years since we saw bodies of women mutilated being retrieved from a quarry in Nairobi. Honorable Speaker, you bear me witness, and the members in this house can bear me witness, that that case has never been resolved. The suspect suddenly escaped from a police cell. And how many bodies were left in there? How many bodies were retrieved? Who are they? Whose daughters? Whose sisters? Whose wives? So, Mr. Speaker, this issue of gender-based violence, femicide, and sexual assault is becoming very serious. Where I come from in Githunguri, Mr. Speaker, we have a new phenomenon of people who are coming in employed as workers, gardeners, shaba boys, and they are accosting elderly women, raping them, killing them, their own employers. And these are people, when you go to the police to follow the case, some of them have not even IDs. We don't know where they are coming from. Which country are they from? Mr. Speaker, I rise up as a woman supporting my sister from Kericho, asking you, Honorable Speaker, even as Mr. President, support women of this house through the GBV budget that he gave us, it is not enough. We request you, Mr. Speaker, to lobby the men in this house, you as a father, you as a husband, Mr. Speaker, I beseech you. We need to see more than what we are seeing. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Kasheri.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. While we appreciate the gains that we have made in regards to women participation in society and their safety, we still have so much to be done, because we must approach these with a multi-agency approach. Honorable Speaker, the judiciary has launched an initiative to decentralize SGBV courts, but they require funding from this house to ensure that in every magistrate's court station, there is an SGBV